Welcome to Between Sets with Church. Over the last several decades, we've seen country music evolve and morph into several different genres, whether it be bluegrass or rock and roll. We've seen bands like Blue Rodeo, Hank Williams III, and several others morph into that rock and roll. Here at home, we have Kansas Stone.
It can only go up, up, up from here, falling so right into the clear. I'm a song with a bullet, there's only one way I'm going, and it's up, up, up from here. It's up, up, up from here.
We are here on a beautiful summer night with Barrie's own Kansas Stone. Welcome, guys. Good to see you again. Brian and Matt, it has been a while.
Yes.
So, it has been one heck of a busy summer for you guys, never mind the past year or so. There's been CMA Awards, you've had Campin' Fest, the Jamborees as well. Tell me a little bit more as to what you guys have been going through and what's going on.
Well, like you said, it's been a busy summer, probably the busiest one we've had yet. We've got some new music coming out soon, so we've been working hard trying to play all these shows and record all this new music and get everything going. But it's been a heck of a year so far.
At the time, it's like everything's so jumbled. There's so many things going on, but you know, it's good at the end of summer. You look back, and it was this nice set out plan, and you look back on it, and you know, you look at the good times, have some drinks, and talk about the summer, right? So.
Nice. And from what I understood too, going back a little while, this is where it started, right?
Yeah.
Exactly in this place.
We're in the home of Kansas Stone right here in the backyard. This is where, you know, the bonfire, acoustic guitars and friends, and it's kind of where the song started with Brian and myself. So
Yeah, so we just I took a song I wrote with Matt, and he told me that he played banjo, and that's how the whole project started. We were more into the rock band, but we formed Kansas Stone out of that, and this is where we are now.
it's just been uphill ever since.
Nice. So yeah, going back to the Beyond Haven days, where it was a little more of a rock and roll vibe to it, obviously, but was the country always there? Because I see, you know, from playing with you guys before and seeing you play, that country thing it seemed to exist with you guys prior to that. Did you guys kind of find you were morphing into Kansas Stone?
I grew up on country. I grew up on Alabama, Garth Brooks, Randy Travis, everything. But at the same time, it was like Corey Hart, Guns N' Roses, like Metallica. Like I just loved music. So I definitely, with my parents growing up, I remember driving to Florida or making the drives, and I was raised on country. So that's.
I'm kind of more or less the same. I mean, I was raised on the blues, and you know, I mean, kind of country and blues is in every bit of music you hear today. So it kind of just all started with that at a young age with my folks and stuff like that, and it's just kind of been blossoming into this thing that's like, well, let's try something new. Let's keep it fresh. Let's see what kind of songs we can write, and if it makes us feel good, let's go with it, kind of thing, and not try and put too many borders around what we're doing as far as music goes.
Cool. Writing. I find it because we've chatted before about writing, and thank you very much. Yeah. We discussed before about, I know you're writing, you're an emotional writer, and you write from the heart, and there seems to be almost a story behind a lot of things that you write about, and as well as compared to the stuff that I used to do. But do you guys have, do you write from experiences, or do you write more from personal life, emotional, between
I'll let you take that one first.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I know it's not easy.
Every writer's different, and I find myself, when I sit down, I don't plan on the song I'm writing. I don't, you know, it depends if you're going through an emotional, like a breakup, or, you know, if you're in a happy place. I find if my life is happy, if I'm going through something good, I'm writing happy songs. And then if I go through a breakup or something, and your own life reflects what you write, but sometimes I'll hear a story from a friend or whatever. It's, you know, it could be a phrase that me and you are talking about, and you say a phrase, and I'm just like, oh, that's a cool idea. You know what I mean? So, and definitely pull out your phone and write them down when you got them, because when you go to Nashville and write, it's just like, what do you want to write about? So you pull out all your titles or your ideas, and I'm telling you right now, as a writer, it doesn't matter what kind of genre music you're writing. You could get down to Nashville, it's Music City, doesn't matter if it's rock, metal, hip-hop, country. You get down there and write with other writers, and it'll really open your eyes to a different world, that's for sure.
Cool. What about you, Matt?
I'm very much the same. I mean, I'm a riff writer, so I play a lot of guitar. I mean, like Brian's definitely, he's like the melody guy, and I'm always writing music on the guitar and trying to find melodies and words to go to that. So, but I mean, yeah, I think personal experience is the best way to get the most heartfelt stuff, stuff that affects you, you feel deeply about, you know, something's going on in the world, something happening to someone else. If you can put your heart behind it, something really great can come out of that, and I think that has to be there in order to really, to kind of be able to connect with people, you know what I mean? Otherwise it kind of feels watered down, and it feels like it's maybe even made by not a human or something like that. So I feel like my best music comes from personal experience, and usually when I'm going through a tough time, I hate to say it, but usually my soul seems to dig deeper when I'm going through something, trials and tribulations in my life and stuff like that. So, but you know, sometimes we'll pick a name of a song, like Brian said, and we'll go from there. And you know, you never know what's going to happen.
So you guys have been to Nashville a couple times now. What's the big draw to Nashville? Well, obviously the country, but music. But is it the people? Is the variety of music? What is it about Nashville that makes you want to just keep going back?
You have to go to experience it. I didn't know, growing up playing music, I didn't know the whole world that existed there. And it's funny because when you go there, Matt and I have talked about it. It's like the person pumping your gas or that you're buying a drink of is a better artist than you, better musician. It's just a place full of music, and it's so. We've been there 10, 11 times or something like that. But I remember the first time we went, we didn't know what to expect. And the more you go, the more people you meet and stuff like that, it's a big family. And the songwriting, the shows every night, just the people there is just inspiring. If you want to find that spark to light your fire again, to get you into it, that's usually where we go. We're like, okay, we need a trip to Nashville, start things up again, right?
Yeah, I mean, like you get home, you get really comfortable in your place, and you get complacent. I think you go to Nashville and everything moves that much faster. And like guys are writing like 3-4 songs a day, and you're like, you know, you feel the obligation to kind of supercharge your creativity, and it does that for us. I don't know if it's in the water or if it's in the land, but something going on down there that's just magical. And it's not just about country music, it's all music. It's the music city. It's just a place. We had to go check it out, and we really had a whole new respect for our craft and for writing and for being in bands after we came back from there the first time. And we've continued to kind of hone our craft from that, just realizing how high the bar has been set down there, and kind of this little bubble we live in sometimes up in Barrie, which is a great music city, as you know. You know, even it shows me little remnants of what Nashville, you know, I could see that happening to Barrie, you know, it becoming more of a music city, and there's so much culture and stuff here. So highly recommend anyone to go there. There's something great down there.
Cool. So I guess along with Nashville, I'm sure there's experiences of having a drink here and there and experiencing the fine drink that's traditional. I guess it's bourbon, I believe, is one of their traditional drinks.
We've been there.
So on that note, I guess it's time to hear a number from Kansas Stone, Blame It on the Bourbon.
I found myself here in Kentucky, driving down I-65. The rolling hills, they remind me of the up and downs that I leave behind. The road I drive seems to last forever. Mistakes I make time after time. You can blame it on your heart or the weather, but you can't blame it on the bourbon every time. The rain tears down on the windshield, washing off the pain with every mile. A man soaking on the handle, so much before his heart will go blind. The road I drive seems to last forever. Mistakes I make time after time. You can blame it on your heart or the weather, but you can't blame it on the bourbon every time. That's right. Well, you used to be you and me, now I'm alone with the liquid gold. When we were young, we'd have so much fun, never thought of going no. We can blame it on the bourbon certain.
So we just heard Blame It on the Bourbon. Love it. Tell me a little bit more of the story behind that song.
We actually never play that song, but our first time in Nashville, we're on the tour bus headed back to Canada, and we're actually driving through Kentucky, and everybody was tired because we didn't know what we were doing the first time we went to Nashville, and it was pretty much a 4-day bender. We're all hungover, but we met some great people down there from Tennessee. They gave us a nice bottle of Kentucky bourbon. So on the way home, it started raining in Kentucky. We're all on the bus, and we broke open to the...
No better time than get writing a song.
So we cracked the bottle, and then that's where the song came from. And we've never played it live in our shows or nothing, but it's always been one, like songwriter nights or stuff like that. It's more your slow, like, you know, it's just meaningful for us because...
It reminds us of our first trip down to Nashville and you know, the experience we had going through all that, so.
Cool. That's awesome. Tell me a little bit more about the CMAs. I mean, obviously that must have been a huge thing for you guys.
CMAs. We nominated for Video of the Year, and we...
It's huge for us.
Yeah, we were just honored to be nominated with such talented artists and our friends now, Megan Patrick, Tim Hicks, and stuff. So I didn't believe it when I first heard it. So it was very humbling.
And we've been a few years now. Like this was our first year being nominated, but we've been a few years now, and it's just kind of we built this cool group of friends, and the community in Ontario and Canada is pretty amazing for country music, and we've felt very welcomed by everyone, even though we're kind of doing our own thing and finding our own lane. It's like everyone seems to be rooting for us, and we're all rooting for them, and every year we go back, it's something cooler and a new step up for us.
It's a big family, you know, like, and it's just every year you get to catch up with people you haven't got to catch up with, or I suggest anybody. You know, I think that next year it's in London, I think, or yeah. So anybody, if you're a fan of country music, it's almost like going to Nashville. It's like they shut down the city for 4 days, and you can check out all the live music. You can go into the smallest pub and see people like Megan Patrick or the Roadhammers or anybody playing these small shows just for free to walk in. You know, it brings the music to a community which I like a lot.
We're very lucky to have it here in Canada and Ontario.
Cool. Do you find a difference between the rock and roll community compared to the country community as far as interaction, the fans, the support as well?
I do. I definitely do. I don't know about Matt or not, but for me it's just the rock and roll is more look over your back and protect your own and just focus on your own and do your thing. Country music is a family that, I mean, you can reach out to the person that you don't even think will talk to you, and they'll invite you to their house and you're songwriting with them the following week, and you know, everybody's rooting for you. It's like you're in a big boat and everybody's like rooting for Canadian country because it's a whole other genre. It's great. So
I mean, I agree. I mean, I think that I think the stigma around rock and roll is a bit more attitude, a bit more edgy.
True, yeah.
You know, so I think you got to kind of carry that if you're in. We've been in rock bands, and we got to hold this certain amount of confidence about you to really kind of make people believe in what you're doing. So I think that the changeover was really nice for us and refreshing, coming from the rock bands for so long and dealing with those kinds of atmospheres. It was just a nice change, and again, people have been so supportive. A lot of these artists that we never even thought would have the time of day have welcomed us into their homes for songwrites and been on their records or have come and played on our stage with us. So we've been very lucky to interact with all of that. So, you know, I can't say anything too bad about either, but there's definitely some positives to it.
Yeah. And we can't do an interview without talking about your fellow bandmates, of course.
Where are they? I told them to be here.
They're in the woods here somewhere.
You know, a band's hard to find, and through the years, we've had different members and stuff, but we're still great friends with a lot of them, like Dave, and Turk and stuff.
Being in
like,
bands is hard.
it's a
like,
family. It's a marriage and stuff. And even though we're friends, but you gotta ask yourself, is it a hobby, or, am I putting everything into this? Because
and do all your dreams and directions.
Matt and I put everything on the line, and we would, even when we didn't have the money or didn't know what we were doing, we'd go down to Nashville, and we'd just chance it. Sleep in the car. I remember us sleeping in the car in a Love's parking lot, like.
Oh yeah, we've done some. We
Yeah.
roughed it. We've done.
But
we're still roughing it.
But that's how you get it. If you're dreaming about it, and it takes strong guys to get there, and. And we're friends and family still with the old members, but the new members are guys that we've always dreamed we would have. And
Jamie's a great musician, Jamie Taylor.
I've known him for
Another
20
Barry
years.
boy.
Barry Boy, yeah. I've known him for 20 years and never thought that we'd be playing in Kansas Stone together. And he is the perfect drummer. He has a perfect attitude. Jamie Taylor is one of the best drummers you'll come out and see, and even our fans are just in awe and watching him just wreck the kit, So AJ, best bass player. He does our music videos, and he has a heart the size of my truck. He's just a good guy, and and it's a good feeling knowing you have these guys that believe in the same thing you believe in.
And great vocals. They had a big element, obviously, vocally to the show as well.
I was like, we love the Eagles, we love Alabama, and love all these big bands. Like, we love that. I mean, Brian and I always had that, but when we brought these new guys in, like, all of a sudden everyone can sing. We're like, ooh, and they all know what to sing, and now we can really have some fun.
It's a
with
different
this.
world because I'm not a trained musician. I've never had a lesson. I've never had a vocal lesson or a guitar lesson. And to have guys, and I was always told, surround yourself with people better than you, and that's how you better yourself. And when we got these new guys in, and Matt would hit something, and then AJ would hit something, and then Jamie would hit, and I was just standing there like, wow, it blew me away. I was just, because
it opened up a lot of new doors for writing and for just our connection as a band, not only on stage, but just like in the room together, even writing together when we're doing stuff. I mean, like I said, sometimes Brian and I'll get together and work something out, but sometimes we'll just put all 5 of us in a room and some magic will happen, and it's because of those guys and that synergy that we have that makes it special.
I ain't in it for the money, but if I was, then you can bet I'd still sing a song for nothing. I'd go broke trying to get rich. When I turn the radio on, all I hear is the same old song, the same hook, the same line. Yeah, that 4165. Give me that old song that never goes out of style. Rock and roll, southern soul, a little deeper on the radio dial. You can keep your damn new country, it ain't what we're about. I get by, turn it up high, that burning ring of fire, 'cause I'm cashing out. Ooh. He'll take you down to Jackson, make you walk a line or two. I don't know when it went out of fashion, them 3 chords and the true. So here we are right now, yeah, I know we can't go back. So tonight we dust off a memory, raise a glass to the man in black. Give me that old song that never goes out of style. Rock and roll, southern soul, a little deeper on the radio dial. You can keep your damn new country, it ain't what we're about. I get by, turn it up high, that burning ring of fire, 'cause I'm cashing out. if I make a buck or two, I'll still be singing something older than me and you. So give me that old song that never goes out of style. Rock and roll, southern soul, a little deeper on the radio dial. You can keep your damn new country, it ain't what we're about. I get by, turn it up high, that burning ring of fire, 'cause I'm cashing out. Ooh, yeah. 'Cause I'm cashing out.
Nowadays, you can get your music out there if you know how on so many platforms. I'd say stick to your thing and do your research. You know, just talk to people, connect with people. Don't think you know it all, because you don't. And that's what I would say before you go signing anything.
Surround yourself with a lot of people, because
smart people, not everyone. Not just people.
It's who you know in this business, right? It's just meeting, shaking hands, being polite, never burn bridges, and just, you know what you want to go for, and don't change it, and just keep going, because, you know, we were asked to change a few times, go a certain way, and but that's not us, you know. So be true to yourself, and, you know, you'll be happy at the end of the day.
Yeah. And I guess play as much as you can too, because really the days, like we were saying, as far as, you know, tangible products, things have changed. It's either online or T-shirt or ticket sales, really.
It's merch and playing. Music's free nowadays, and it's a sad thing, but that's the way our industry is.
With that in mind, what's coming up with you guys? Recording.
Probably heading back to Nashville soon to do some more writing. Okay. Speak of the devil.
Yeah, we want our goal is to have you know, vinyl, a record of our own. So we're going to Nashville to do a full-length album and get that out for everybody.
Perfect. Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you very much, gentlemen. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Good to see you again, Brian. Good to see you again, Matt. Thank you very much. And of course,
Lincoln.